Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm gonna share with you a very easy way to make a slip dress. I'm gonna use a slip dress that I have. You can also make a pattern with your own dress and sew it easily. If you don't have a slip dress, please download and use the free pattern in the description box. Let's get started. Fold the fabric in half and place the half of the dress 1 inch from the center line for seam allowance. I'm gonna make a slits from the hem to 14 above on both sides and add 3 inches to skirt length. If so, the slit length would be 17 inches long. Draw along the outline. I also make darts. If I get a chance, I will make a video to draw darts later. Same as the front. Fold the fabric in half. Place the half of the dress 1.5 inches away from the center line for the seam allowance. Also mark the slits in the same position as the front panel. Lengthen the hem 3 inches more. Draw the outline and also mark the slit in the same spot of the front. After cutting the front panel, cut 7 inches down the center of the neckline like this. After cutting the back panel, cut 5 inches down the top of the center. Mine is a design with the darts on the front panel. I'll sew the darts first. After sewing, fold the darts downward. Same for the facing. Sew the darts first and fold them downward. Serge the side line of the facing, front and back. Sew the side of the facing of front and back right sides together. I even forgot to serge one side seam, but it's okay because the seam goes inside. Open the seams. Sew the side seams of the front and back panel right sides together to the points where the slits are marked. Also open the seams of the dress. It's time to make a strap. Of course, you can measure and cut the length of the strap of your dress like this. But I'm gonna make a different designs today. First, cut the fabric 1 inch wide by 80 inches long for straps. Cut in half. Fold in half right sides together and sew all the way to the end with the 1/4 inch seam allowance. Cut the seam close to the finish line. Being careful not to cut the line. Turn it inside out. So there will be 2 40 inches strap like this. Prepare the panel 1 inch by 4 inch long loops. Fold in half. Sew with a 1/4 inch seam allowance right sides together. Cut the seam close to the finish line. Be careful not to cut the line. Turn the right side out. Cut it half to 1 by 2 inches loops. I'm gonna fold it like this and attach to the back panel. Attach the strap to this pointy spot where the neck and armor meet of the front on right side. Do the same for the other side. Fold the loop in half like this and attach the loop 4 inches from the center line of the back panel on right side. Align the neckline and armor of the dress and facing, and pin or clip on it. Sew all the way around it right sides together. Notch or cut the curved part, and trim the breaky part like this. Fold all the seam allowance toward the facing, and do understitch on inside seam not to stick out. serge the edge of the facing. I will fix the outside and inside so the facing of the dress doesn't stick out. Connect the seam of the facing edge like this, or sew the side lines of the dress and facing together. Now is the time to sew the slit. Open the seams, fold the seam allowance, and pin or clip. Sew along the slit like this. Do the same for the other side. Fold it twice and sew. Fabric that are too thin or slippery is very difficult to fold twice and sew at once. In that case, try this. First, fold it once and sew. Then fold it again and sew outside of the previous line. From the inside, there are 2 stitch lines, but from the outside, only 1 stitch line is visible. It's much easier and has a neat finish. Do the same for the other part. Thank you for watching.